welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz
review of Gladiators.
The semi-finals.
Yes.
Yeah, all the
Oh
first
man, this is getting so exciting. I was
exciting.
screaming at the TV.
What did you say? Wepic.
It was
wow
wow
and epic at the same time.
And as Joe said, Beardy Joe at the end.
Joe. Yeah.
This is the best programme on television
Yeah,
at the moment.
what a way to sum up this episode.
Oh yes,
Definitely.
This is absolutely first semi-final. Who did we have, Zak? Who did we have?
So for our female contenders, we had Kiva and Amanda.
Two strong young ladies they are too, to get all the way through to the semis.
Indeed, and for the male contenders, we had Joe F, otherwise known as Gymnastics Joe, otherwise known as the guy who commented on our previous video, which was great,
Hey,
Joe.
we like it, Joe.
And Joe H, who is Bearded Joe,
who I sympathise and I associate with because I have a beard. Beardy power. Beard power. And this guy also, Joe H, because obviously, as he said through this programme, in his late 20s, he can run down the street. Yeah. And that's what this show is all about, ladies and gentlemen. I know you Glad fans understand this, but if anybody else is watching this,
you can do it.
It's just so motivational. And it's such epic fun. The first event was Gauntlet. What an event to start with.
Yes, it was. You don't usually get this like straight off the bat, do you?
No, that is going heavy hitting straight away. Yeah. And so it was ladies first, wasn't it?
Ladies first. So in the Gauntlet, we had...
Oh, yes. Who were the Gladiators?
First up was Kiva, and she was against... Well, I mean, they both were against. Dynamite.
Oh, Dynamite. Oh, yeah, she puts her hands on the hips.
Okay. Fire.
Trying to get
Cyclone. Was that added?
What's that? That was just...
Electro. What's that?
I don't know.
Zap!
She puts her hands up.
Yeah, wiggle your socks on the floor and then electrocute me.
Anyway.
Okay, and Athena. No, it's
no, she does that. She does that at the end. She does her thing, and then she comes back straight, and then she goes...
You done? So,
yes.
honestly, for Kiva, she got pretty walloped.
Yeah, she did.
Like straight off the bat. It was very interesting regarding her performance on this, but against the odds, she did manage to get through.
She slammed her way through there. Yeah, and well done, Kiva, on that one. Followed up, obviously, by Amanda.
With a little switch.
Yeah, because the Gladiators switched their...
Cyclone went to the front, which seemed to work very much in the Gladiators' favour.
I don't think I've seen that happen at all in this series, or even in the last series.
It may have happened,
but
it wasn't as, you
guys out there,
effective.
you can remind us. But yeah, it was a little tactic that you don't see often on Gauntlet, them switching around. Yeah. But yes, it worked, and that meant that Amanda didn't get through to the end.
No, she only got... Well, she almost got 8. Almost got 8.
She didn't get her feet over the line.
Which is what you needed to do. But unfortunately, she only got 6. Yep. So, scores on the doors for the females were Kiva on 10 and Amanda on 6.
And then straight into the men. Jojo.
Which Joe?
Jojo. Joe F and Joe H.
Oh, Joe and Joe.
Joe and Joe.
Okay.
Jojo.
Gymnastics Joe was first.
Yes, and he was revved up.
So, he was against Hammer!
Oh. Hammer!
There we go.
Sorry, I was getting carried away then.
Phantom. Legend. Apollo.
I don't know what Apollo does. Does he just put his hands on his hips or something? Oh yeah, that's it.
And Bionic. He seems to be taking it in his stride, being like the new big guy. I thought you were going to do that earlier.
I don't know.
Deary me. But Bionic really has kind of taken up the role of being the big guy now, which is quite cool.
I know, obviously, Giant has hurt himself and is out.
It's a shame. That's a shame.
Do you know, in this actual episode, I harken back to the original Gladiators. I was kind of inside myself thinking that Bionic is kind of Hunter. Yeah, he's kind of taking that position of Hunter.
Is he on there? Is he on the thing in the background?
No, he's not on that one. This is a very early one.
Okay.
No. That's true. That was Warrior at the back.
We can have a quiz
Hunter. Yes. So anyway. Yeah, it's kind of like, I think they're fine. I don't want to compare them.
Initially, like in the first season stuff with Bionic, I wasn't particularly like overly keen on Bionic, but I think he has become like...
He is the machine.
Yes, that's really kind of been his character
wins
now,
all the time.
which is great. So...
He's doing... They're all finding their characters, it's great.
Yeah, unfortunately, actually...
Even Viper. Nice.
For
he was more fun.
Gymnastics Joe here, he did have a bit of a Clattenburg
moment
issue, didn't he?
Clattenburg, Battenberg.
Did he jump out of the gauntlet?
It was difficult because obviously we watched it, and then I reran it and watched it again, and from the camera angle that we had, it was very difficult to see whether he was pushed out or he kind of tried to jump up and around the Gladiator.
Yeah.
From Clattenburg's side, it might be more obvious. So you have to go with a stickler.
As they said,
for the rules.
his like word is law.
That's it. He's a stickler for the rules. So there you go.
There we are. Unfortunately, with that, he only got 6 points, which I mean, to be fair, he was the lighter of the two, so this was never going to be his strong point.
True, but he is powerful and he's full of energy
and quick.
And then of course we heard Joe F with his
Joe H.
Joe H. Sorry, with his
bearded Joe.
Bearded Joe. So many Joes. Two. Yes. Joe H.
It's quite a big number, isn't it?
2. Yeah. I've learned to count. Sorry.
You sure?
Yeah.
How many figures is that?
Well, I didn't want to do that. I'll do that too. There you
go. Okay, so he hadn't got as far as he did in this one before.
In fact, he did
progressively better.
3, 4, and this time he went the full distance.
The full distance, all 5 zones.
And he got through it with a good margin of time at the end, didn't he?
He did.
And I tell you, that was, I've been in that position when he came out at the end and he just ran around that arena, punch in the air, doing that. I mean, we've all been there.
Go Joe!
I mean, that's a moment he is never going to forget.
Well, I mean, just harkening back to his quarterfinals and things where he managed to beat Legend on the blooming Hang Tough. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Crazy times.
He's going to come out of this and just think, wow.
Yeah, he's very positive, very motivational.
I think honestly, anybody that gets to the semi-final stages, whether they win or come up as a runner-up, they're just they're just going to be absolutely happy.
I mean, it's a lucky position to even get on the show.
Know, it's brilliant.
So
anyway,
scores on the doors.
Scores on the doors.
Gymnastics Joe was on 6, and Joe with a beard was on 10.
Oh, anyway, on to the next event. Duel! A classic, a staple of Gladiators.
And yet again, it seems to be that the Gladiators are taking no prisoners.
Yes. I'll tell you, I was really pleased. It was Kiva up first, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, to see Kiva rematched with Fury after the epic battle.
It was awesome and epic.
It's epic. This program, it just drives me insanely, fantastically energised.
You can see it in his face and his beard.
Just go watch this program and then hit the gym and you're well away.
You keep yourself warm with all the kinetic energy over here.
Yeah. And anyway, so yes, and to have that rematch, you could see that Fury would just see it in her eyes, and she was not going to give an inch.
And she did not.
She didn't. She really worked it hard. Kiva, bless her, tried. Yeah,
she tried. She tried her best.
But Fury did manage to get the upper hand and knock her off.
Okay,
so nil point.
Nil point. And then Amanda,
unfortunately, Amanda got
that one.
The
sparkly diamond.
What do we have to do that way? The diamond.
Oh, you do that as well.
Yes, I've seen her do
that. I mean, it'd be quite hard to do with a giant, cotton bud.
Yes.
Ear stick thing.
That's right. But anyway, so she had Diamond, the amazing Amazonian warrior as she is.
This was quite a spectacular knockout, if I recall. It was a bit of a spin, and then she got walloped off. Yes. That was quite dramatic.
Dramatic, yes. Almost in the same principle when we move on to the men with Joe.
Yes.
Yes, which we'll come to. But anyway, so they both got nil point.
Nil point. So scores on the doors for the ladies
stayed the same.
Still 10 to Kiva and 6 to Amanda.
Yes, and then we have the men. So
for the men,
straight up was
Gymnastics Joe against Bionic. Oh dear.
This time Bionic didn't step across the podium.
No, he learned from his mistakes.
He wellied in there.
He is, to quote, the machine.
The machine. the machine. The thing is, though, Joe, if you saw his style, has Joe not been on? I think it was commented that he might not have been on it before. I don't know. Anyway, he sort of went in with this kind of like almost, I don't know how you describe it.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
Sort of wading in low like that.
Which allowed him to get his head walloped.
And he got his head walloped, and then he span, and he like zipped off straight off the podium.
But I think he lasted a bit longer than last time. That was it.
Yeah,
that was it. Because he lasted about 3 seconds, didn't he?
Yeah.
Last time, and he lasted 5.
There you go.
As much did Bearded Joe.
Bearded Joe, yes.
Or Joe H.
Joe H. He lasted 5 seconds as well.
Yes.
And he was up against...
Legend.
We should do that back to back.
What?
Legend.
Okay.
Legend.
Legend.
We love you, Legend.
Legend on Joe.
He's just brilliant. The fact is, when he knelt down on the podium, come on, give it to me.
Raw.
Yes, it. Have you all got dreams? Do you all want
I want to give you a motivational speech today.
Are you going to be the best you can be? Yeah, well, you're all losers. Because I'm the best. And it's like, boo! And he's just, come on.
He's such a great card. He is. He is.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
This is brilliant. Do you ever catch any of the videos that he does when he goes off to see other kind of sports personalities, you know?
He was with the big guy with Reacher, wasn't he?
Yeah, Paulie. I don't know his actual name, but... Yeah,
or was that Eddie Hall? He was with Eddie Hall.
He was with Eddie Hall the other day,
yeah.
and I'm sure that he was with, Eddie's mate. Oh, the Canadian guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
What's it, Shaw?
Yeah, that's it. And
whatever his name. Sorry if I forgot your name.
But yeah, and it's nice to see those videos. Yep. Just see the interaction out
So,
there.
a similar trend here. We have Gymnastics Joe, or Joe F, with 6 at the end of event 2, and Joe H, otherwise known as Bearded Joe, with 10.
And it's time to move on to the next event. Collision. Oh, it's the old collision.
Yeah.
Is it going to be? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good?
It's never one of our favourites, is it?
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Now this one, I'm sure one of them, and was it Joe H that hadn't done it before on this one?
No, I think he had done it before. One of them didn't do it before. I think it was Amanda.
Was it Amanda?
Maybe?
I know some of them.
Anyway, so.
Going with the ladies. Kiva, who got told off last time for hanging about on the bridge.
Okay, we had Sabre, Comet, Electro, and Fire.
That's right. Electro and Fire make basically they were the tag team in this show, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were taking.
They seem to have nailed this one.
They would take the contenders out,
which was good.
Yeah. So we had a bit of that hesitation from Kiva again, which there was a quick word.
Yeah, I think it was on both of them. There was a mention.
In fact, it was even. I think it was even more. I think Plattenberg shouted even more at Amanda. But and they both eventually got knocked off by the tag team.
Yeah, which is nice. It's nice that they've got a good success rate. The Gladiators.
Yes, they enjoy themselves on it.
Yeah.
So what were the scores?
Scores: Kiva was on 8, and Amanda was on 6.
That's what they scored on this. Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
So
what score did that give them?
Overall, Kiva was on 18, and Amanda was on 12.
Okay. 18 and 12. And then the men. Okay,
the men.
Gymnastics Joe first, if I recall.
Yes. Yep. And he was against Bionic, Phantom, Hammer, and Viper.
Hammer. Whatever. Yeah. And again, they were fine. And it's mainly down to Bionic again on this.
Yeah, he got a good wallop off, didn't he?
Yeah, I noticed that actually. If you didn't notice it, if you go and replay and watch it, I think it was either Bionic. It was one of the platforms the Gladiators were on. The front bumper bar was slowly getting ripped off on it. It ended up dangling off.
Oh, that's quite funny.
But yes, so they were doing it. But then Hammer pulled his shoulder or something.
We didn't hear. They
didn't really follow it up, but they said obviously had to get replaced.
Yeah, by Apollo. One going against Bearded Joe.
That's it. So what did Joe score?
Gymnastics Joe. Okay, because you have to be more specific in this particular one because they're both Joe.
Gymnastics Joe.
Okay, Gymnastics Joe scored 6.
6. And what did Bearded Joe get?
Bearded Joe, Joe H, scored 10.
10.
See,
now Bearded Joe was doing well in this.
a cracking job considering he's up against a GB gymnast. I mean,
what
come
score
on.
did he get? What was the scores on the doors?
Scores on the doors after event 3 for the men were Gymnastics John 12 and Bearded John 20. So, 8-point lead to Bearded Joe at this point.
Isn't that the point where he gave Bradley a beard as well?
Perhaps.
Perhaps, that was quite fun.
It was at some point during the episode.
I think it was Collision that he gave him a beard, which was quite fun.
Who wears it better?
Yeah.
Probably him.
Probably. Anyway, on to the next event. The wall. Okay, it's a straight vertical with a tilt at the top.
Okay, so we all know how this one works. So Kiva was against Sabre and Amanda was against Dynamite.
Dynamite. I can't do the tune.
It's like a leveling up.
Boom into the room or something like that.
Boom into the room.
That's the tune.
Maybe. Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Goes boom boom into the room.
That makes sense because
because she's
Dynamite.
meant to be Dynamite. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Dynamite did a good run of it, trying to catch. She was on Amanda, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
on Amanda.
and she actually caught her leg a couple of times.
It was, to be fair, unfortunately, Sabre didn't do very well.
Yeah, but
she blamed it on her nails.
Yeah, claws too long, but. She's been up the wall far better in the past, hasn't she? You know, so.
There was a thing afterwards saying that she hadn't been feeling herself.
I don't know.
In the locker room.
Oh gosh, yeah,
with Apollo.
That's a bit weird because going back a few episodes back, there was a kind of an Apollo and Apollo rocket kind of comment, wasn't there?
An Apollo rocket?
Yeah, it had to do with Apollo's rocket, and then in this one it's like. It seemed a bit staged, like Apollo kind of like looked over his shoulder, it's like, is this a sort of like put up kind of thing?
Well, I mean...
Do you need a hug?
Everyone else leaves.
And it's like, yeah, okay. So,
I mean, Nitro was there for goodness sake, and he's not in this season.
Yeah. Do you think they're kind of trying to like... put in a kind of love interest with Apollo and Sabre.
Who knows what goes in the locker room when the cameras are off?
What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. Well, you got to remember what we're watching is obviously recorded as in the past, so we don't know what the situation is. Yeah. In the old Gladiators, some of the Gladiators did have relationships with each other, so who knows? It'll all pan out, won't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what? A couple episodes left.
Yes.
Semi-finals, then finals. Boom. Oof. Okay.
So... Boom into the room. There you go.
Okay, so scores on the doors. Amanda, because let's not forget, they both got to the top of the wall.
They did, and it was almost like a...
nail biting to the last.
Yeah, it was almost like, what do you call it?
Photo finish.
Photo finish, that's right.
Amanda did come first, so she got 10 points, and Kiva got 5. She came second.
That's it.
So that brings up the scores on the ladies to Kiva on 23 and Amanda to 22. So at this
really
point,
close.
event 4, 1 point in it
okay,
for the ladies.
It's not a lot at this level.
No. For the gentlemen.
We have Gymnastics
Joe against Steel and Bearded Joe, or Joe H, against...
Now I've got to say, actually, because I don't try to knock Viper, but I did say a couple of our episodes back about has he actually won anything? And one of you guys out there did remind us that he has won on the wall before, and he did it again.
He did,
and he did it in style. So good on you, Viper. You missed it.
The thing is, it's a large room. It was an echo.
Ah, I see. Anyway, so Joe got to the top.
Which Joe?
Gymnastics Joe.
Joe.
I tell you, I love the style. Okay, you're watching that, and you can see his gymnasts. I mean, we climb. Okay, we are climbers. We love.
Former rock climbing instructor.
Yeah, you might be former. You never not a rock climbing instructor when you're qualified.
Oh yeah, I've got all the gear and stuff downstairs.
But we love climbing,
yes.
And to watch him go on the wall. And he was literally using his gymnastic strength to jump up, grab the handholds, and then pull his legs, tuck them in. He said it himself. He was trying to get as small as possible.
It kind of felt...
He was trying to steal his legs away from whatever was coming up underneath him.
Well, the thing is, I think it was very much kind of like a Nitro approach, where it's all upper body.
All arms.
Yeah.
That's why Nitro's so fast on it, because he literally arms.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, you're coming off. So missing to see Nitro on this
Nitro, come on, we've got to see for season 3.
Nitro
Get better, please.
But Joe had a brilliant technique because he just powered up there and kept stealing his legs and powering up, stealing his legs.
Yep.
So
unfortunately, on the latter of that, Bearded Joe did come up trumps. Basically, when Viper got him.
Well, they didn't come up trumps.
All right.
Yeah, that's when
Is that the other way?
win.
All right. Well,
okay. He just
let go.
Yeah, he fell off. Well, he didn't fall off. He got pulled off. I shouldn't have used that terminology. But anyway,
yeah, don't say that about Viper,
he got
please.
pulled from the wall. There you go.
He was unleashed. No. Okay.
Sorry, you're a bad boy, Zach. You're a bad boy. Anyway, but Viper, he managed to get the contender off the wall.
There we go.
He didn't get
It's like Barney last week. It's like Barney. It's the messiest ring I've seen.
Yes, he got the contender off the wall. Anyway, and then Viper said, "Was you chicken or something?"
It was like kitten or something, wasn't it?
Scaredy cat. That's
there we go.
Scaredy cat.
And then ate a sign.
And then ate a sign. And then Bradley says, "Kids, whatever you do, don't litter." That was funny.
That was a poor example. It was a bad example.
It's a bad example. Don't litter.
Kids out there.
Oh, that was so funny.
And still was very complimentary towards Gymnastics Joe. Obviously, he got 10 points, which was great. So, scores and doors for the men at the end of event 4 were 22 to Gymnastics Joe and 20 to Bearded Joe.
So finally the gap has closed. So
both
both the ladies and the gents are really close at this point.
Very, very close.
On to the next event. Powerball. Oh, I like the way you did that. How we did that. Powerball. Oh, and this was an amazing Powerball.
It was good all the way through.
It was amazing for the ladies.
It's always a great one to kind of finish on, I think, because it's very hard hitting.
It is a hard game. And
I mean, for the ladies, I think it was Amanda that got really proper wallops.
Well, talking about the ladies, Amanda got walloped, but Amanda scored the highest score ever on Powerball.
At least for the new series, I'm not sure about the old one, but 18 points to Amanda.
I know, it's like
that is insane.
But the best one in that was, I think, near the beginning. She literally sort of swerved around one of the Gladiators. Who were they up against?
They were up against. No, it was Fury, Dynamite, and Cyclone. Oh yeah, it was Cyclone.
Okay.
I wrote it down in a different order.
But she span round and literally went. I think it was her who went backwards and got the point in the centre.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. But yeah, she scored amazing on that one.
Very well done. Very well done for Amanda.
And that's what really shunted her up.
Unfortunately for Kiva, it was very much the reverse.
Yeah, she got slammed up.
She got a ground score of 2 points.
I think, would I be right in saying that Kiva actually said that was the first time she'd done Powerball?
Yeah.
And she said, that's the last time I'm doing Powerball. Yeah. But she put up a good fight on it.
Yes, so this was very much the decisive...
So what was the decisive scores on this?
Score.
Come on, what is it?
So, Kiva...
Yep.
25. Amanda...
Oh, yeah.
On 40.
40!
That's the highest score of this season.
That's amazing.
That is insane.
You've got to say, at that point, you're kind of thinking, unless you make a really big balls up on the eliminator, we're knowing who's going to win this.
Yeah, that is a 15-point lead.
I know.
All of which was attained in Powerball.
Yes.
So it was critical.
She did amazing to do that. You know, but that's the thing. She scored a huge amount in Powerball.
Yep.
But she might have done the reverse. She might have not.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just one game can make all the difference in the show.
So you got to put your all in.
Yeah. And then we have the men.
The men!
They were up against, don't tell me, Steel?
Yep.
Yep. Apollo and Legend. Because obviously Legend needed his support crew to carry on. Do you know how heavy a foot spar is? Come on.
What a card.
What a card.
I don't think he's Legend, I think he's delusional.
He's delusional. But anyway, so the men.
Again, another hard-hitting one, and Gladiators weren't letting them in too much.
Bearded Joe did well on it.
He did get a 3-point, I think. Yeah. A 3-point in the central pod.
Yep, but Gymnastic Joe, he did that jump right over the top.
I think we had a couple of bounce outs, but
they were included.
I
think that's fair, because if they've gone in,
then
they get scored, you know.
So, regarding this, Joe F, or Gymnastics Joe, got 4 points. So pretty well defended for the Gladiators, because he is fast. Bearded Joe, on the other hand, got 7.
There we go, 7.
Very good.
Which
Very
did
good
him
for him.
good. So what was the scores on the doors?
The scores on the doors. Gymnastics Joe, 26. Joe with a H, or Joe with a beard, 27.
Ooh,
1 point. 1 point in it. So kind of polar opposites.
Yeah.
The ladies and the gents by the end of it, because you had a massive point lead and then hardly anything at all.
Bearded Joe had done so well through all this.
Yeah.
And I also love the fact that Gymnastic Joe had Christine in the audience. It's his grandmother, isn't it? But it's like his mum. And, you know, all the way through, she must be absolutely blown away with all the effort he's put into it, you know, which is great. Anyway, so that's where we ended up. So that was the final event. Which leaves the Eliminator. This is the do or die.
The do or die.
This is semi-final.
This is
whoever
that
wins.
decides it all.
Whoever wins is in the final.
So this is where it all counts.
Oh, at this point, I was on the edge of my seat, literally.
Edge of your seat, yes.
I
you
mean,
almost fell off. You fell into the room at one point or another.
My eyes were watering with excitement, you know.
It was all a blur of excitement and wonderment.
Come on!
So, scores on the doors.
Yep.
Kiva obviously had 25 to Amanda's 40.
Which gave
That
her
translated to a 7.5 second lead to Amanda.
That's a lot.
Which was going to be extremely hard to pull back.
And when they got on there, on the start line, and it was like, you will go on my first whistle. And she did.
She did.
And she didn't look back.
Nope.
She hammered that
I
course.
think she was almost at the top of the cargo net by the time that Kiva was on the hanging bars.
Yeah.
The hanging bars, yeah.
And, but also, I mean, the other thing was Amanda was using the single rope climb.
Yep.
Where if you watch Kiva in it, she was off to its side. So her climb up the cargo net wasn't...
My impression was, with such a kind of lead, I feel as if Kiva kind of just did it and didn't really
but she said, give her credit, she fell behind on the cargo net, but by the time that Amanda had gotten over the balance bar, she was already down the zip wire and hitting the bottom of the balance bar herself, so she kind of made some time up there.
She did.
And then, but
Amanda was like, I'm not falling on this one.
There is no way I'm going to fall down on the travelator. Yeah. I'm getting up there. The sheer determination. In fact, the determination on both of them, because Kiva did it as well.
Boing!
Up there through the paper burst, the iconic paper burst.
Yes.
And she was like, there. So we have Amanda
in the final.
Our first finalist.
Yes.
And she kind of brings back a kind of a feel of Eunice Hut a little bit. You know, the old Eunice days, the way she's done it. But, yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw her recently.
Did you? Yeah, I can't remember. I think the last film...
I still need to figure out what the heck that film is.
Yeah, the last film I worked with Eunice was... that would be the last Star Wars movie. Because she was the stunt coordinator on that one.
Yeah, she was.
And, so anyway, story for another day.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, on to the men.
The men.
This is a different story.
Yeah, because
there was a 0.5... half a second lead to Bearded Joe.
I thought, you will go on my first whistle,
now,
and then you will go on my second whistle.
To be fair, he gave it his best shot, but unfortunately we had the other Joe, Gymnastics Joe, very speedy Joe.
And really pumped up.
Half a second isn't much.
There was a tiny little wobble when he got up to the top of the cargo net. There was a tiny limp. Yeah.
On Gymnastics Joe,
Gymnastics Joe.
It was kind of like, ooh.
And it was like, as he hurt himself, and is that going to tell? You know, we're going to keep an eye on that.
Well, I think the lead really went to Gymnastics Joe on the rope. The rope was definitely...
Well, that's it, because Beardy Joe swung out from the platform and had to come back in again, and that's really what...
He just went, whoop, legs...
Yeah, he was on. And then after there was no catching him after that.
Yeah, basically.
And boom, he was through there.
Through the paper burst. Huzzah!
Huzzah! And not too far behind him, Joe H.
Was Joe H with his wonderful speech.
Yeah, and well, he stood on top of the platform. He thanked the audience before he went through the paper burst.
A good showman.
Great showman. And then, exactly, he basically mirrored what I'd said before in previous reviews, that this show is the best show. Mm-hmm. This show shows anybody that they can get up and do something. Yeah. And it's just
do it. Just do it, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, this week I've been seeing bits and pieces on social media where kids are meeting the gladiators. And the kids have been making their own gladiators costumes, and it's like really good, and it's like so inspiring for the kids.
It is.
We live in an age where we got sugar taxes. You know, I mean, beer. I mean, you know, I'm not a beer drinker, but beer is going up to, on average, £5 or more a pint. Yeah, all these things, pack on the empty calories. Yeah. And we live in an obese society and everything. Show like this is doing exactly what we need. It's teaching the kids to be fit.
More gladiators.
And the adults.
More gladiators.
But that bit with Gymnastic Joe when he was thanking Christine and Bradley, bless him.
Yeah.
I got choked up. You can see Bradley is like, the emotion. You know, and it's like, what show?
But that's what this means to everyone.
What show does that?
Exactly. That's why it is the best show basically on TV.
There are loads of shows on the TV where people get angry and shout at the television because they get, they're having to go at the contestants or whatever. How can you be so stupid? Blah 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 blah. Or but this one, you're behind everybody. You're behind everybody. It's great. Anyway, so that was the first semi-final.
It was.
And we have Amanda in the final. We have Gymnastics Joe in the final. Well done.
Who is going to join them?
Yeah, we will
find out next week.
We won't know until next
episode.
Week. Exactly. I can't wait. Where's my glove?
Your glove, your finger.
We've got to get my finger.
Your pointy finger.
Gladiators!
So, if you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel for further reviews and things in the future you'd like to see.
Yay! See you in the next one. Glad fans. Woohoo!